1. Oklahoma Sooners host the 8th-ranked Kentucky Wildcats. I'm Bart Connor, joined by Florida All-American Trinity Thomas here in Lloyd Noble Center tonight in Norman, Oklahoma. Now, Kentucky is led by 5th-year senior Skylar Kuehler-Wellhelm. Last year competed for the University of Washington. This taking her 5th year now for the Kentucky Wildcats. And Trinity, she is just absolutely spectacular everywhere.
Yes, she is a very important team player here, and she's had a short impact, but she's had a major impact very quickly. I'm very impressed with her.
Here are some of her accolades. She's a transfer from Washington, as I mentioned. Their coach, Jen Llewellyn, took off to be the head coach at the University of Iowa. So Skylar sort of threw her name out there in the transfer portal, and Tim Garrison, the head coach at Kentucky, said, wow, wouldn't it be great to get her? Turns out she loves equestrian. And so she came to Kentucky, and, you know, if you like equestrian, you probably love Kentucky. So she has been an important contributor to the team here, just here in this is their 5th meet of the season. And they'll be on vault in this next rotation. The Oklahoma Sooners on the bars. You can see their respective lineups. There is Chad Wiest, the assistant coach in that white shirt and tie, who is giving them some final notes. The Sooners have a lead just under 3/10 of a point. All of these meets are really close in the conference. There really are no off weeks, are there, Trinity?
Not any at all. The SEC is a tough conference to compete in.
Cicely Rizzo will be first up on vault for Kentucky. Kentucky has a lot of variety in their skills. Don't you like that?
Yes, I love it. Cecily is doing a Yurchenko full, but she's been working a 1.5, so hopefully we'll see that later in the season, and that was gorgeous. Just a small shuffle.
When I think about Kentucky gymnastics, I think about big gymnastics, high-flying releases, very powerful tumbling and
Look at the height she gets off of that table. I'd like to see a little bit more open hips coming down into the landing. That was gorgeous.
Cicely Rizzo does floor and vault typically for the Kentucky Wildcats. Danny Sievers on the bars now for the Oklahoma Sooners.
KJ did say she would be back. I'm glad to see her tonight.
Danny has had an injury to her lower leg and then been dealing with the flu, so we weren't sure she was going to be competing at all. Great to see her making her debut for this season on the bars.
Beautiful Maloney. Right down to the low bar with a pack. Pirouette. Little feet separation there. Now just gearing up for the dismount. Nice. Small step. Small step.
Are little steps like that avoidable? How do they happen?
I know sometimes they are avoidable, but sometimes you have to take them. If you're a little bit over-rotated, it's better to go in the right direction than going under.
Beautiful execution throughout the air with pointed toes in a full twisting double back. Tom Haley, the associate head coach at Oklahoma, giving her some notes. Brian Noonan now. We saw her on bars in the last rotation. Here she is on vault after Cecily Rizzo led them off with a strong 9.85.
Different vault here. Same vault that Jordan Childs is competing this year in NCAA.
We talked about the variety of skills. We see a lot of forward flipping vaults from them, and that is really an unusual technique, isn't it?
Yes, that's a Yurchenko half on, tuck half off. Very different. You don't see that often.
Danny Sievers, like her score came in as a 9.85. Solid lead off. Here's Addison Feda. What a year she is having as a young freshman.
Just got her season high last weekend, and Addison can swing some bars.
Wow.
Beautiful release. Right down to the low bar with a pack. Pirouette right on top of the bar. Double layout, huge, nice stick.
Coach Kindler was hoping she'd have a little more confidence and take a little more risk in those handstands. Nice job today for the freshman out of Pennsylvania.
Let's take a look at this release. Look at the height on this. Wow, huge. Right down to the low bar. Legs together, that's exactly what the judges are looking for. Same with that dismount, legs together until her feet hit the floor. What a great bar.
Judges watch it from the side. They can rarely see that leg separation, but from this sort of end zone camera, sometimes we can see form breaks that the judges don't see, but that was pretty darn great.
It was really good.
Mackenzie Wilson now after a 9.775 for Ryan Noonan.
Big vault. She's gotten 2 10s on this event, and we can see why with the height there. Just didn't quite get the landing.
Tuesday, we've got a men's basketball doubleheader at 7 Eastern. The #1 ranked Auburn Tigers take on Vandy. Then at 9, it's Texas A&M as they host Georgia. Catch all the action here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. That was one of those variety skills on vault. We'll talk more about that because we'll see a couple of more of those handspring pike front halves as we go to Lily Peterson. Addison Fada had a 9.875 in that second spot.
Maloney up to the high bar. Pack salto back down to the low bar. Nice pirouette. Just a little short on that last cast. See what she does here with the dismount. Stick. Very nice.
You mentioned those release moves. One of the requirements is that they have to do 2 flight elements and change the bars back and forth from the bars twice. She flies pretty high. Within the 10 degrees.
It's not too short.
Probably the judges
it's a
might
little
take
bit more open, probably.
5/100ths of a point, perhaps.
But that double out was really nice.
All right, Isabella McNally after Mackenzie Wilson had a 9.85.
Another great vaulter in this lineup. Love this front pike half. Oh my goodness, nice vault. She's gonna be happy about that one.
Now that, as we mentioned, is a different style vault than the Yurchenko we often see. What makes this so difficult?
Coming on front like that, it's a blind landing, but then she halves out so she can actually see the landing at the half, which is actually nice.
Typically, you don't fly as far from the vault table as you do on a Yurchenko full or full and a half. So sometimes those are scored a little lower in generally because it's hard to get a huge distance from the vault table, which the judges factor in.
Nice release from Faith.
Faith Torres.
Pack. Pirouette right on top of the bar. See if we can get another stuck dismount. Oh, so close, just a little foot.
She stuck her vault in the last rotation, 9.975 for the junior out of Wisconsin. As we get ready to go back to vault for Kentucky, let's point out some of the things the judges are looking for.
So the start value, some of these vaults start from a 9.95, others start from a 10.0. Skylar's actually doing one that starts from a 10.0. The judges are also looking for clean execution and great landings.
McNally had a 9.95.
Big 1.5. Pretty good landing there too.
Boy, she stuck it in the mat like a dart going into a dartboard. She couldn't hardly move.
No. Let's take another look at this. Nice height. Wow. Great vault.
Coach Kim Garrison loved it, that's for sure. And they're coming off a big score for McNally. But talking about big scores, watch these 2 final competitors for the Sooners on bars. This is the sublime Audrey Davis.
She swings just about as good as you can swing. Look at those legs together the entire time. Look at this handstand line.
Reigning NCAA
nice pack
champion.
salto. Beautiful pirouette on top of the high bar. I mean on top of the low bar.
Oh, this is good.
This is really good.
14 times she's had 9.975s, only 110.
Wow.
Oh, could that be it?
Maybe.
Oh, my goodness. The crowd wants to see a 10, Trinity.
Look at her lines. And look at the height on this Jaeger.
Oh.
Absolutely.
And she floats it down. What about this dismount?
Here we go. Feet just a little staggered. I know that's something that the judges are like, but that bar routine is simply stunning.
Delaney Rodriguez, the final competitor for Kentucky on vault after Skylar Kilo-Wilhelm at a 9.925.
Yurchenko full to finish out the rotation. Not as much amplitude as maybe the judges are looking for, but she had that distance for sure.
Scores have been a bit high on vault for both teams, actually. And you heard the boos from the crowd in the background. That wasn't for Delaney Rodriguez. That was because the crowd was not happy with a 9.95 for the reigning co-champion of the nation, Audrey Davis. But Jordan Bowers, you see her average is over 9.9. She'll be their anchor competitor. The Sooners comfortably in the lead by over 3/10.
Nice handstand there. Line, Jaeger, very nice. Jordan is just so dialed in her attention to detail. Wow, look at that pirouette. She almost got this stick last weekend. Will she get it here? Yeah. Oh, so close. Just a tiny step forward.
She already had a 9.95 in vault in that first rotation. Bowers, it's money in the all-around, week in and week out.
Yes, she is. Nice handstand, right where we want it. Love how her hips are stretched open there. Dismount high, legs are perfectly together, just a little under-rotated there. But great routine otherwise.
All right, that completes the second of 4 rotations here in Norman, Oklahoma. It's the #1 Sooners hosting the #8 Kentucky Wildcats. Oklahoma has a lead of just under a half a point at the halfway point in this competition. Coming up, we're going to celebrate Girls and Women in Sports Day. Lots of quality gymnastics going on. Don't go away, folks.